That dynasty's over. We did what we had to do. It doesn't mean, it's not about what it means. You know what it means. You can turn your cameras up to the screen and know what it means. We did this.
Toronto, let me hear you say, let's go. They not like us. They not like us. Say, Drake, I hear you like a wall. You better ever throw the sound like one.
Well, this is Jagmeet at the Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert in Toronto, Canada at Rogers Centre Stadium. So who's Jagmeet Singh? Jagmeet is a Canadian former politician who served as the leader of the New Democratic Party from 2017 to 2018.
He confirms to me, yes, Drake was sending me voice notes talking crazy like he's a mob boss. That's what he says.
Drake has gone completely unhinged after finding out that Canadian politician Jagmeet Singh attended Kendrick Lamar's sold-out show in Toronto. Instead of waiting for someone to leak it, Drake posted a screenshot of the message he sent to Singh, calling him a goof. He probably thought sharing it himself would save him from the embarrassment, but it didn't work. The screenshot shows Drake had some prior contact with Singh, but they didn't seem close. Back in 2019, Singh publicly thanked Drake for following him, and the only other interaction was a story Singh posted in August 2020. For nearly 5 years, there was no contact, at least not in the DMs. Then last week, after Drake saw that Singh went to Kendrick's concert, he slid in with that petty message. But before anyone could feel sorry for Singh, he replied with a cringy apology on his story, basically begging Drake for forgiveness. He even claimed he only went to see SZ not Kendrick, saying, "I went for SZ not Kendrick. I was born in this city. I love this city. But real talk, I get it, I shouldn't have gone at all. OVO and Drake have lifted up this city and Canada. For me, it'll always be Drake over Kendrick." The embarrassing part. Singh was literally caught on camera dancing to Kendrick's performance, even vibing to the diss track, Not Like Us. Let's be real, SZAS, amazing. But no one bought those tickets just to see her. Let me know if you'd like it tightened more, or split for dramatic effect.
The show? And you telling me that he only listened to the SZA parts and only jammed out to the SZA parts? I wonder if there's gonna be some video evidence that proves that he's full of shit.
And as this fan pointed out, Singh probably apologized to Drake because the unhinged OVO fans were sending him threats. He jamming. Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. So it probably wasn't loyalty. The reason why he probably apologized was because y'all were probably in his DMs, threatening him and getting all mad at him because Drake posted it to his story with his millions of followers. And you guys don't know how to be regular fans. You don't know how to take an L gracefully. So you're going to sit there and get mad at anybody that shows love to anybody that's Drake's ops. But Drake has a long list of ops, so you guys are never going to rest. And this fan is definitely onto something, because wait till you hear how Drake's Toronto fans planned to sabotage Kendrick's show. A group of Drake fans actually tried to organize an OVO takeover to crash Kendrick's concert. One fan posted a public call to action on Instagram, telling all 6 God fans to swarm the Rogers Centre at 5:30 p.m. on June 12th and 13th, right before Kendrick's set. And get this, they said their goal was to remind them who runs the 6. Listen to this caption they wrote, "Toronto, stand up. This summer Kendrick is coming to our city for 2 shows, but before the curtains even rise, we're making it known this ain't just any city. This is Drake's city, and this is the 6, and we're about to show them." The caption then said the plan was to stage an OVO takeover and celebrate the legend who built the sound of the city. But wait, it gets crazier. They really told fans to pull up with speakers, blasting classic and new Drake, signs repping the 6, their best OVO drip, and the entire city behind them. And in exchange for their appearance, they'd get free pizza and free OVO hoodies. Well, someone made history that night for sure, but it wasn't Drake's fans, it was Kendrick. Despite Drake repeatedly trying to block him from performing in Toronto, and Drake's fans threatening Kendrick's whole crew to stay out of Canada, Kendrick and SZA still kicked off their grand national tour with not 1, but 2 back-to-back sold-out shows at Rogers Centre in Drake's hometown. In fact, Toronto became one of the top 5 best-selling cities on Kendrick and SZA's tour based on total tickets sold. But Kendrick didn't just perform in Drake's city, he came to drop Drake's corpse back off in Toronto for his people to see. Check this out. Kendrick performed not one, but 3 diss tracks aimed at Drake, Euphoria, his verse on Like That, and of course, Not Like Us. He opened with Euphoria at the end of Ess's first set, and the stage split open to reveal Kendrick alone on a staircase, spotlighted, delivering every bar with scary calm energy. Then came Like That mid-show with red strobe lights, flashing, energy peaking. And Toronto fans were literally yelling the lyrics back at Kendrick. From the moment he stepped on stage at the Rogers Centre, you could feel the electricity. Every time he opened his mouth, the crowd answered verbatim. It wasn't just a performance. It was a communal ownership of a moment in hip-hop history, but the standout moment of the night. That was Not Like Us. The whole track rolled out like performance art. It began with a mock deposition video projected across massive screens. An off-camera interrogator shot the first question. Do you recall what happened on May 4, 2024? That date marked the day Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, the diss that flipped the entire Drake-Kendrick feud. Cameras aired vintage courtroom drama vibes, but the energy shifted the instant Kendrick replied, "Cool as ever. Mr. Duckworth, where were you Saturday, May 4th? Kendrick leaned back, shook his head. I don't keep up with dates. I got a million things on. I don't know. Saturday, May 4th. I don't keep up with dates. 24. Bro, I don't keep dates. Man. I don't know. Man. I'm in the air." It wasn't defensive, it was deliberate, effortless, untouchable. Then came the kicker. Does this ring a bell? Cue the beat drop. Drop, drop. Drop, drop. Drop. Suddenly the beat hit. The arena exploded, and the entire Rogers Centre erupted. The crowd's reaction. Not just singing back, they roared Kendrick's lyrics with unwavering precision. It was a two-way performance. A victory lap stretched across stadium acoustics. Canada's flagship venue was now his stage and his punchline. This wasn't just a track, it was a theatrical confrontation. That deposition 2 breakbeat transition didn't just signal a song, it framed the moment as a masterstroke in performance storytelling. It underlined the narrative. Kendrick isn't just an MC, he's the defendant, the interrogator, and the executioner in hip-hop court. And Toronto. They were right there with him, chanting Not Like Us like a verdict, like a movement. By dropping the song with that theatrical build, he reaffirmed a truth fans already knew. He won. No mic drop needed. The deposition video didn't just ask a question, it laid a trap. And the beat's entry was the moment of truth. That's when the crowd turned conspirators, performing his lines back as echo chambers of allegiance. The energy was palpable. Toronto didn't just play it in the background, they declared it. Drake's hometown turned around and amplified Kendrick's triumph in real time. It was domination, not disruption. And after the final note, the chants continued. Encore calls thundered. Toronto fans demanded more. They weren't just watching a performance, they were collectively scripting hip-hop's next chapter. Because on that night, at the Rogers Centre, Not Like Us wasn't just a song. It was a cultural statement. A scoreboard, a collective exhale, and every moment dramatic, defiant, precise. Sealed it. PDF files and Drake being into a minor. History was truly made that night. And you know what makes this even more embarrassing for Drake? He himself has never performed at Rogers Centre. And if that wasn't bad enough, it's hilarious how Drake and his team were doing the most in the months leading up to the concert, trying to sabotage the whole thing. According to sources, Drake's camp tried to get Kendrick Lamar's shows at Rogers Centre Stadium in Toronto either cancelled or postponed so they could do OVO Fest there. Attempts to have both tour shows cancelled or postponed allegedly took place in hopes of booking OVO Fest, but by then, paperwork with Rogers Centre had already been filed, and no other venue in the city could hold the same capacity. Now, people were questioning who these sources were. But journalist Justin Tinsley said, "I wouldn't write it if I didn't get the information from those close to the Rogers Centre. If it ultimately is proven to be inaccurate, then I will cross that bridge when it gets here." That's what journalists do. But I trust my sources highly. Honestly, this doesn't sound far-fetched at all. People on a certain side just don't want it to be true. Because if it is, then Drake's camp failed to get it done, and that makes them look bad. And while Drake failed to block Kendrick from performing, the backlash ahead of the concerts was truly unhinged. For example, radio hosts at Chum 104.5 Umar McNeil and Josie Dye refused to give away Kendrick tickets on air as a show of loyalty to Drake. They said, We got tickets to the Grand National Tour starring Kendrick Lamar featuring SZA too. Dates in Toronto. But what kind of statement are we making as Toronto broadcasters if we give away these tickets? We can't do this. As Toronto broadcasters, we cannot give away Kendrick Lamar tickets. Wild, especially since it was the end of the tour and also on Father's Day. You know, all those things Kendrick was saying about Drake not being a good father, it's a statement. It's a victory lap. One of the hosts even said, Drake has put Toronto on the map. I probably wouldn't have considered living in this city had it not been for Drake. The influence of Drake in Toronto is undeniable. One radio host even said, at the time when I moved here, Toronto was one of the most relevant cities worldwide. I was like, oh, Toronto, absolutely. They added, Drake donates so much to this city that we don't even know about, helping communities, helping the Raptors, bringing the All-Star game to Toronto. He's done so much for Torontonians, and now we're laughing in his face by giving away Kendrick Lamar tickets. What are we going to do? We're done. We're not giving them out. I'm not giving them out. Then, Toronto rapper and longtime Drake associate Top 5 took it even further, posting threats online aimed at Kendrick's team. And that's not all. He and his crew were also spotted circling Kendrick's hotel the night before the concert, saying things like, every door locked, everything. Of course, there was also that sad attempt from Drake's fans to stage an OVO Takeover at the Rogers Center. One fan showed up saying, yo bro, why are you here? Another replied, I'm here to prove that hometown dreamy Drake champ. You can't be coming to our city and doing this. Are you from Toronto? If you're from Toronto, you know what Drake has done for the city. Drake has put on for this city more than Kendrick's ever done anything for Compton his entire works. But when the moment came, that so-called takeover was a complete flop. Organizers claimed police on-site forced them to shut it down. But let's be real, turnout was weak. And the only thing Kendrick was met with was a sold-out arena full of Toronto natives screaming his lyrics. Kendrick's back-to-back sold-out shows in Toronto weren't just a win, they were yet another public humiliation for Drake. But just when everyone thought Drake would finally take the L and move on, things got darker because now, news leaks are revealing Drake wasn't just trying to get Kendrick's shows cancelled through contacts in Toronto. Drake was allegedly moving like a mafia boss, leaving threatening voicemails for Kendrick's team for months, and this bombshell came straight from DJ Academics. He claimed during a recent livestream that he spoke directly with someone from Kendrick's camp, and according to him, Drake had been sending crazy, threatening voice messages to members of Kendrick's team throughout the entire beef last year. Academics said, this is what I don't know, and I asked time, going to ask Drake, is this true? He then shared what Kendrick's people allegedly told him, you should have heard this, Drake. What he was saying to us before we whipped it, what he told me. Academics admitted he never knew Drake spoke to anyone close to Kendrick because Drake had previously told him he hadn't spoken to DOT directly. But apparently, behind closed doors, Drake was actually trying to intimidate people in Kendrick's circle and talking to them like a mob boss. Anthony Sola, Kendrick's longtime manager, confirmed to Academics, yes, Drake was sending me voice notes talking crazy like he's a mob boss. He added that Drake was saying things like, yo, I'm going to done you, and, y'all, think you could finish me crazy? But then Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, and all of a sudden, those threatening messages stopped. According to Academics, once Not Like Us hit, Drake went completely silent. So the question is, why did Drake go from threatening Kendrick's team like a mob boss to going radio silent overnight? One theory is that Drake got spooked because Not Like Us didn't just diss him, it hinted at something way darker, involving OVO and their alleged ties to a PDF file ring. And just like that, all the tough talk disappeared, and Drake backed off Kendrick entirely. Instead of going after the man who actually wrote the lyrics, Drake filed a lawsuit against his own label, UMG, accusing them of allowing Kendrick to defame him. This lawsuit was another bizarre move on Drake's part. Because if he really believes those lyrics defamed him, why not sue Kendrick directly? Who knows, maybe because doing so would drag those allegations into court, and everything would come out in public. Either way, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. MG has already filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit, calling Drake's claims misguided and arguing that the lyrics are protected opinion. That motion is set for a hearing on June 30th in the Southern District of New York, and the suit will either move forward to depositions and document review, or the judge will grant UMG's motion to dismiss and shut the whole case down before it faces deeper scrutiny. So now, Drake's fate is in the hands of a federal judge. But here's where things get even weirder while all this legal smoke is building. Drake's also quietly finalizing his new album Iceman, and now there are rumors about the kind of tracks he's lining up, who he's targeting, and what he's trying to clean up before it drops.